Not the sports news on OmniAudio.Africa. With Romy Titus and Kevin McCollum.
What a show we got lined up for you this Monday, because there's drugs, there's resignation, there's legal battles, there's referee battles, and we've got a fight on Instagram and on TikTok. That's a brilliant show.
It's drugs, sex, and rock and roll. It's
perfect.
Yeah, that's what you need to do in the morning.
Perfect.
I mean, I do feel sorry for you, United, in the doldrums.
There's lots to discuss there.
Yeah.
There is a lot to discuss there, but please can we start with Yannick Sinner? I mean, as good a tennis player as he is, the guy cheated.
Yeah. So this long doping saga has been going on for a while. He claimed he had cholesterol, what's it called? I can't say that word. Cholesterol massaged into his body by
Closterbol.
Closterbol? That's just Spanish for bullshit.
Yeah, he's tested positive twice for traces of this, right?
Yeah, because you do the one sample and it gets split. It's the same sample, so it's test. But he claimed it was from one of his team. This hasn't gone down well, so his suspension is quite convenient. So now he's worked out this deal with WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency.
Right in between the tournaments.
Right in between the 9th of February to the 4th of May, which means he can play at Roland Garros, the second Grand Slam of the year. Remember, he's won the first one in the Australian Open. He'll be able to play on the 25th of May at Roland Garros.
Seems like the powers that be want him to play at the French Open.
Well, there are a lot of people who are pissed off about this. There are a lot of people. Channel 9 News But they put together a report, and Tim Henman gets mentioned in it, and Nick Kyrgios, the Australian guy.
A sad day for tennis. That's the verdict of Nick Kyrgios taking aim at world number one Yannick Sinner, who's been banned for 3 months for doping. Despite testing positive twice, Sinner was cleared of any wrongdoing, leading to claims of double standards.
The Melbourne Park King. It's back-to-back for Yannick Sinner, brought back down to earth by a doping ban.
There was a big talk that he was potentially going to be banned for a year. To see the only 3-month ban has got a lot of people surprised.
Yannick Sinner's ban reduced after a deal between WADA and the Italians team. It means he'll be back in time for Roland Garros in May, and that's got plenty riled. Nick Kyrgios has been venting for months.
The tennis integrity right now, and everyone knows it, but no one wants to speak about it. It's awful.
And today that anger exploded, launching a scathing attack on social media. Dodgy as, he tweeted. Sad day for tennis. Fairness in tennis does not exist. Former Australian Open champ Stan Wawrinka was even blunter. I don't believe in a clean sport anymore.
It just seems a little bit too convenient. It seems there's words like agreement. It almost seems like there's been a negotiation.
Sinner immediately withdrew from the Qatar Open, where he was already on the practice court. The Italian twice tested positive to Clostebol, but claims it entered his system via a massage from his physio, who just used a spray to treat a cut. I've always accepted that I'm responsible for my team and realise WADA's strict rules are important protection for the sport I love, Sinner said. On that basis, I've accepted WADA's offer to resolve these proceedings on the basis of a 3-month sanction. As for WADA, officials say they accept Sinner didn't attempt to cheat and that there was no real performance-enhancing benefit. Still, many believe there's a double standard. Now retired former world number one Simona Halep copped a 4-year ban. That's despite claiming she fell victim to a contaminated supplement, while Australia's Max Purcell is currently serving a voluntary provisional suspension after self-reporting accidental IV usage above the legal limit.
Players that don't have the profile that Yannick Sinner aren't afforded the same opportunities to have their case heard, to have their case trialled.
Sinner's future is a lot clearer now after what's been a murky saga.
So I'm curious what Nick Kyrgios would have said about Steve Smith and Warner cheating in the cricket, because yes, it wasn't drugs, but it was actual cheating, and they weren't banned from local cricket. They were just banned from international cricket. Steve Smith's come back to score 10,000 runs, be the vice captain of his cricket team.
He's now captain for the Champions Trophy.
Captain for the Champions Trophy. So, you want to talk double standards, I say Nick Kyrgios, sit the fuck down.
Yeah, but that said, you feel for Simone Halep. She got done for 4 years. Eventually, that got reduced down, but it's basically ended her career. This looks good. He's a hell of a player. He is the next Novak.
But it doesn't mean you're allowed to cheat. And so that's why I say Steve Smith and Warner were also good. but also cheated. And there's lots of athletes along the way, like Ben Johnson, who cheated, and what's his name, Pogba, who played for Man United and then went to Juventus and also cheated. So anyway, I'll move on from it. We'll leave that to Raymond Hack at the Anti-Doping League. Let's come back home. Mamelodi Sundowns beaten Penny home defenders 2-0 in the Nedbank Cup. They're through to the quarterfinals with Supersport United, Stellenbosch FC, Durban City, Marimo Gallants, Orlando Pirates, and Kaizer Chiefs. We will get to Orlando Pirates in a second. But the big problem with this tournament is that there's one game unplayed because, of course, Royal AM couldn't pitch up. The game has been postponed by the PSL. I can't figure this out. Sean Mkhize's team cannot appear. And Sekhukhune United, Milford FC, are supposed to play the winners of... Milford FC and Royal are supposed to meet Sekhukhune. Yeah. There's no game.
So that's the last 32. It's not even this round. It's the last round. That's the last 32. This is the last 16. It's an absolute nightmare. And the sooner the PSL sort this, we'll talk about it in the second segment with the sports editor of the Far Post. But why is the PSL not just taking any concrete or any strong stance on this, or actually just doing something to resolve it?
We'll find out from him. Just in, though, a big burning question around Orlando Pirates, and we'll get that live press conference with Jose Rivera in a little while as well. Sticking with football, I've got 5 reasons why Manchester United probably land up in the relegation zone. Last night's loss to Spurs, 1-0, goal from Maddison. It's their 12th Premier League defeat. United have now lost the most times after 25 games since they were relegated in 1974.
Good God. And you know who scored the goal to relegate them? Dennis Law. He was playing for Manchester City at the time. And he actually didn't celebrate and said it's a goal. Every interview he did after that, he didn't talk about the goal. But yeah, it's, they, as you said, they had, how many kids under 18 on the bench?
6 kids on the bench who'd never played Premier League football. Lindelof was the only one who'd ever played in the Premier League who was sitting on the bench. You're playing without Amad Diallo. You've got Manu missing. You bring on these 2 youngsters. Ogba played, and the other youngster came on. I don't even know what his name is. It just seems to me that United's disarray is again, United are like having Lewis Hamilton at the wheel and driving a Sauber instead of a Ferrari. So there's big problems there. I think Amorim says he hates his job. Or so, what did he say? He says
it's a hard job.
He says it's a hard job.
And he's talking about, this is what he had to say.
Every day for us, for our fans, but we need to stop focusing on the big picture. It's not the moment to do that. Just focus on the next game. Let's do everything to win some games to finish the season, and then think in the big picture. In this moment, it's just to try to stay with the players healthy, to recover some players, and focus on what we have to do in the next game, and that is our goal. Miguel.
On that, in all these circumstances, how do you view this season? Yeah, because you have to kind of write it all and just use it in preparation for the future.
No, in this moment is more than that. The idea, the system, in this moment is like survive, is to think in the small things, to improve the small things from this game for the next game, and not even look at the table, the schedule, nothing of that. Of course, I have to, because we'll have a lot of games. We have 3 competitions with a small squad in the moment. That part is my part, but the players, everyone in character, just focus on the next game, the next training, and that is our goal.
Yeah, survival.
Yeah, the kid who came on was Chido Obi for Casemiro, who's one of the new signings. I feel sorry for him because I think he's the most credible manager that United have had out of all of them, including Van Gaal. I loved Mourinho till he lost the plot. Ranić was useless. Solskjaer was an emotional connection. Yeah. I would have stuck with Moyes after all this time if it were up to me. I don't think they gave him enough of a chance. But I think he is in a really difficult position. The team has sunk to the lowest of its lows. And I don't think there's anything that he can do until they sweep clean. They really didn't do much in the transfer season. And up until the end of the season, I agree. It's all about survival. Because if they do get relegated and don't make Champions League or the Europa League, that could be a massive problem. Financially, for the reputation of the club, I think they'll really struggle if they get to that point.
There's a £300 million hole that they have to fix in the budget. And they're doing that by cost-cutting measures, by retrenching another 200 staff, just retrenched 250. But do you feel sympathy for him? I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't. Big Ange, after the Spurs win, didn't feel all that much sympathy.
Do you have sympathy or was it empathy for Reuben Amorim?
Mate, if I check my office, I don't have any sympathy cards from other managers, so I can tell you that that hasn't happened. But there's definitely empathy there. I mean, I could see today Reuben, he's sort of had to put a team together, play players out of position, have kids on the bench. Well, welcome to my world, but that's for one game. Now do that for 2 months. Do that for 2 months. Any club, do that for 2 months, because I thought Man United were good today considering all that. And we had our days when we were good. We beat Liverpool in this spell. We had other significant victories, but do that for 2 months.
Jude Bellingham's also in the news. Him and Carlo Ancelotti, big fallout in the La Liga.
Yeah, so he got a red card for... So he apparently told the referee F off after a bad decision. And the referee said, no, you said F you to me. And gave him a red card. So now this has become a big decision. How do you use the F-bomb properly? Now, after the game, he was trying to explain, this is what I meant to say.
Clear that he made a mistake and there was a miscommunication. I remember the incident very well, but also I've seen the video, and the video doesn't match the report. I don't want to go into too much detail what was said, but it's like an expression like and it's difficult to, when a referee isn't sure, to determine that I've said something that I haven't, and as a result it kind of hinders the team. And I only want to make sure that the team know that I wasn't irresponsible enough to put them in a situation where I intentionally wanted them to be left with 10, but of course being involved means that's the case. I hope that the footage will be reviewed and see that it's not the same as the report, and that going forward the federation can keep that under consideration, because it is huge evidence.
Have we got a bleep button there?
No, that was the bleep button. That was done by the broadcaster.
We don't have one.
No, we don't have one.
So there's a famous joke, and my late father was a referee, and the joke goes, can you bleep me? I'm just going to have to pretend. Guy goes up to the referee at halftime and he says to him, referee, can you send me off if you think I'm a...
Yeah, C word.
Right? And the referee says, no, I can't send you off. He says, well, I think you're a...
So there's one of the fastest people ever sent off in football was in a little Sunday League match, Crawley Town, Cross Farm and Taunton East Reach Wanderers. So Lee Todd, he's the guy. Referee blows the whistle, and this guy goes, F me, that was loud. Referee goes, off. Red card, 2 seconds. It took him to get sent off, which I think is brilliant.
Somebody's also causing a stir online, and we had an interview with Herschel Gibbs the other day, chatting with him about what his thoughts were on some of the rising stars of South African cricket. Now, he obviously has a lot to say about Brevis and a lot to say about Alejandro Pretorius, but he made an unbelievable observation about Matt Bretzka, who's just been on debut ahead of this ICC Champions Trophy. Listen to what he said, and you will not believe the response that people have had.
Bretzka got 150 off 147 balls. Now, if Travis Head had to face 150 balls, he would have, I don't know, over 200, 230 probably, even more. And the team would get to 380, 400 maybe. You got a man that got 150 and the team just got to 300, So the message should have gone out after 40 overs, 41 overs to say, listen, these guys play T20 cricket. You've got the great foundation. There's a chance for you to play some T20 cricket and just shoot lights out if you can. And that never came out. You still got to run a ball. I mean, Sachin Tendulkar faced 147 balls in 2010 and got 200 not out. This is 2010. We're talking 15 years later with the same mindset, but he got more runs. But guys today don't face 150 balls, I mean, it's your debut. So what? You can make a duck, you can make 100. It's great. You got 100, fantastic. But you still play the situation, most important. The message never came out for him to get on.
I just want to clarify. He wasn't taking having a go at Bretzka. No. He's having a go at the coaches for saying, bro, you got 150, get on with it. Fucking knock the ball out the park. And everybody's having a go at Herschel saying, give him a chance, it's his debut. And I mean, there's been 44,000 views and about 1,200 responses to this video. I think we should get some of the responses on, but let's be clear. He's having a go at the coaches, not at the player. And I think it's a great observation. Where is the aggression in South African cricket? It's a brilliant question, and it poses a great question ahead of this Champions Trophy.
It does. I mean, you look at Hirsch, what he did, the 4-3-8 game, 175 off 111 balls. It took him 142 minutes. And I think one of the reasons he actually said in his book afterwards that he batted so well is because he was incredibly hungover. So he just decided to go have a tonk.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Speaking of tonk, the Bulls got beat on Saturday.
Yeah.
The Sharks gave them a high. Well, I wouldn't say a hiding, but 29-19 is certainly a good win for the Sharks in the URC. Bit of a disappointment for the Bulls there, but I guess they live to fight another day.
Yeah, they had no need for speed, as Jake White said afterwards. So there's no substitution for pace, and they just got outrun. They just look bad. The Lions look good against the Stormers. Dominant first half. Stormers are in a world of hurt. Sasha Feinberg Mkono-Zulu is going to be back soon. Hopefully, he was talking about his date, but yeah.
Listen live and on demand.
Welcome to Omni Sport.